Merry Christmas, everybody. What a wonderful, wonderful celebration this week coming. I want to let you all know without a shadow of a doubt, I have my very good friend with me, none other than Jacob, who I just awakened from his slumber. I know I'm not supposed to. Let me move this microphone out of the way so that you can better see Jacob. Jacob is my, 8-month-old cat officially on December 29th, or is it 7 months? It's 8 months. 8-month-old cat born April 29th of this particular year. This beautiful Maine Coon cat became a part of the McClenton family on my birthday, September 20th. Well, birthday weekend, I guess. The weekend after my birthday officially. September 29th is when the rescue group and I coordinated together to adopt. His name at that time was Dodge. His name is now Jacob. Jacob is a tremendous member of the McClenton family. We loved Jacob greatly. When we first adopted him, he was a small animal, a little less than 2 feet, weighed about 5 pounds, and for a Maine cat, that's not very good. And we made a commitment at that particular time period that we were going to do whatever we were going to have to do to make certain that Jacob grew in size and in stature with God and with man. I love you, Jacob. And my good friend here responded. I know the veterinarian gave us steroids to try to get him to eat a whole lot more, but we decided that we were not going to use drugs. We switched him to a more robust diet in which he received and broth rather than trying to force him to drink water, which he had a problem with. We made all of his food in broth. We would give him crab meat, imported crab meat. We would give him, I'm telling all the secrets. I'm telling all the secrets. We gave him crab meat. We gave him tilapia. We gave him catfish. And all of it was oven baked, not fried or anything. And we played with him and wrestled with him. And now Jacob is, you're not going to be able to see him completely, but Jacob is virtually 35 inches long, nearly 3 feet long, and close to weighing about 10 to 15 pounds, somewhere in there, since we adopted him. But the great people that made the adoption possible will be with us tonight. Charlie and Elaine Fuerniss, a Bourbon County Rescue. And I just want to tell you, you can always count on your cat to disappear on you when you're talking about these particular issues. But I am encouraging everyone, if there is a cat or dog, spayed or neutered, that you can adopt, make them a part of your family. Now, in the first segment, that will be in our second segment, and you know how much I love my cat. So, take care of your cat, love your cat, or your dog, however way you wish. I never thought I would be a cat person. I thought I was always dog, but we went with a cat. In this first hour, Heather Mitchell rejoins us from that enlightening conversation we had with her, where the questions were just firing in from the Virginia House of Delegates, District 2. She's a candidate there. Heather Mitchell for Virginia. Our hope and aspiration is that she will secure that particular seat amidst all that she has to go up against. And we're looking forward to a wondrous conversation with her. We're going to have not only individuals in our chat roll tonight. Bonnie Williams, my executive producer, is in the chat roll. She's got a ton of questions that'll be flowing in from there. Mary Brockman, my bouncer in chief, is in there too. If you diss her, you diss me, you will be whoop, 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 dismissed from our program. In addition to that, there are individuals in the YouTube chat roll. So there are going to be a ton of questions rolling in. Everyone is interested in this particular race, and so we're looking forward to a great, great conversation. Listen, if you don't know already, welcome to the Exceptional Conservative Show, live from the nation's capital. We are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation, first to the Republican and then to the tyrant. You know what we do at this particular hour. We're running a little fast because, I spent a lot of time talking about my cat. I never thought I would be like that, but I'm in love with my cat. So I'm going to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to do me a great favor. Take your hats off. And you cannot find me, Bonnie or Mary, for loving my cat. You cannot find me. You know I'm going to talk about my cat. So don't find me. But take your hats off, everybody. Show reverence to this wonderful flag behind us. That is our liberty, peace to the world, our freedom, peace to the world. And as well, remember that we are one nation under God. It has everything to do with God. God bless America. It is now time for America to bless God. We're going to ask that you put your right hand on your heart and pledge of allegiance to the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, allow our children to take it away. And when we come back, we're going to have two things that we're going to ask you to do every single day, including Christmas.
Parents, ready, begin.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I am going to tell you without a shadow of a doubt that it is joyful to always see our children do the Pledge of Allegiance. We do it every single night. But I want you to know that this show should not be its first teacher. Neither should the teachers in your public school system be the first teacher. The first teacher in everything is you. So we're going to encourage that you do two things with your children every single day. Number one, that you pray with your children every single day. And number two, that you pledge with them every single day. Pray with your children, pledge with your children every day. Not only will you turn their world around, but when they go into the world, they will turn it around. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a tremendous joy to have this woman back with us. Heather Mitchell is not only a ball of fire when it comes to protecting the nation and as well the Commonwealth of Virginia, but she is a heartbeat for the people of Prince William and Stafford County. Heather Mitchell is running in the second district. Hey, maybe that may be prophecy. She's running in District 2 for State Senate. For the Virginia. Boy, I'm really prophesying your life here. Virginia House of Delegates. She's starting there first. You can find her on Facebook at Mitchell for VA, or you can find her at Heather Mitchell on her website. We want to introduce to some and present to others the great young lady, Heather Mitchell. Heather, thank you so much for stopping by with us before Christmas.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure to be back. Thank you so much.
Listen, I noted that a lot of people have caught on to your particular campaign since you've been on the air with us. I'm wondering if you're noting that people feel the need for Virginia to turn red. Are you getting those types of thoughts and inquiries from across the country?
Yes, very much so. We have been out. So much has happened since I talked to you last week. We had a big door knocking event. Saturday, we had one in Stafford, one up in Prince William. And we've, talked to over 1,600 neighbors, between Prince William and Stafford. At the doors, it is amazing the response that we are getting, especially when you talk about the fact that, there hasn't been any clear leadership with what's going on with COVID. And the other big issue that everybody always talks about is transportation, infrastructure. And we've done some digging and did some research. And, to find out, with the $800,000 that was transferred from the Stafford's transportation funds down to Hampton Roads, have everybody look up House Bill 1414 and House Bill 1726. Okay. And it lays it all out. And our current representation voted for it knowing that they were taking transportation funding from our area. Obviously they've never driven down Ramah Church Road or Kellogg Mills Road or Poplar. These are areas that are in desperate needs of, road improvements. You've got, exactly. It just boggles my mind how ignored we are. And then there's also so many things that need to be done up in Prince William. You go back into the street, they call them the state streets. and you've got people flying down these roads. They've asked, to get speed tables put in, and it's the money's just not there. And there's so many things that need to be done. But I did want to say I am extremely grateful. I found out I was endorsed by Sheriff Hill up in Prince William County, and also by Sheriff Decatur down here in Stafford. And I did
Wow.
get the endorsement of the VCDL.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah,
It is well deserved. You are a voice for our police, loving the blue and protecting the people of Stafford and Prince William County. When we come back from the break, because I want to do the break early, because a
okay.
ton of questions came in for you, and
I'm ready.
they're gonna criticize me for not giving out all the questions. So I want to let you all know, don't criticize me tonight. I'm going to get to as many of your questions as I possibly can. But you are a stalwart. You are the type of person that needs to represent District 2, and we want America to hear your voice right before next week's election. Well, the following week's at least,
Yeah.
election, special election, District 2, Virginia, House of Delegates. Heather Mitchell with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back with more of the best in urban conservative talk right after this message. Just one message, and I promise, just one commercial.
Hi, I'm Anthony Imparato, President and owner of Henry Repeating Arms. Today we are going to talk about the Henry Mini Bolt Youth Rifle, the official youth rifle of the USA shooting team. Henry Repeating Arms is proud to support all of the nation's youth shooting sports programs, including the Youth Shooting Sports Alliance, the NRA youth programs, the International Hunters Education Association, the Boy Scouts of America, as well as many others. The Henry Mini Bolt is the top-of-the-line youth rifle. Made of stainless steel, it features a stainless steel receiver, barrel, and bolt handle. It's lightweight, only 3¼ pounds, and features Williams fire sights for easy sight alignment. The Henry Mini Bolt is built to withstand the toughest test on earth, your kid. Available in synthetic black stock or Muddy Girl camo pattern. If you are going to spend your hard-earned money on a Henry, you can expect to receive quality, reliability, award-winning customer service, and my personal lifetime guarantee. And most importantly, Henry Repeating Arms, made in America or not made at all.
Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Heather Mitchell running in. Oh my God, I keep saying congressional. Forgive me.
We've got a great congressman here, so I'd like to keep him.
Okay, all right. But in District 2 for the House of Delegates, none other than Heather Mitchell. Heather, the questions are coming in, and I'm going to be obedient and ask these particular questions. Bonnie Williams, executive producer for my show, has a question for you regarding the Omni Ride. Apparently, Omni Ride doesn't ride ominously. It doesn't go to everywhere in Prince William County, and many people are complaining about the exchange of fare for service, that the service quality is quite poor. Wanted to get your opinions and your thoughts about Omni Ride and whether Prince William County should be talking with Metro about shifting to Metro buses and other transportation options.
So with Omni Ride, that is I'm having to think back through from when I used to go to all of the meetings. Omni Ride is basically its own entity. It's very unique to Prince William County, and they do get the funding, partial funding, I believe, by the Transportation Authority up in Prince William. It's such an issue that we actually really need. This is my thought on the whole thing. Yeah. Is there's been a lot of talk about people wanting to extend the metro down into Prince William County, the Blue Line. Yeah. Until they fix the core capacity issue, you can have rails going everywhere, and there's still going to be horrible, overcrowding. It will be a nightmare. So I have always looked at busing. Right now we have the Fred buses coming up from, Fredericksburg, going around. We need to come up with a comprehensive plan to where you do have a busing system. So like I said, Omni Ride is unique to Prince William County. But you've got the buses going up, doing drops at the Pentagon, all the way up to DC. But there's not a cohesive plan of getting people, if it's focused on one county, doing these drives up to, the Pentagon or all the way up to DC. I think because of COVID, they stopped running to Tyson's. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know that we can come up with something. Having it to where you've got a reliable service, a reliable standard of service, because many people, are always complaining about 95. 95 is just a horrid parking lot a lot of the times. And so they keep saying, hey, get onto Omni Ride. You can take Omni Ride. I mean, Omni Ride is a great company, but with anything, there's a lot of things that you can improve upon. And I think by coordinating between a lot of the localities of Stafford, even Spotsylvania, there's a lot of people that live in Spotsylvania that, work up in like at Fort Belvoir. A former coworker of my husband lived in Spotsylvania and had to commute all the way up there. And so if we can get a comprehensive busing system to where all of the localities are contributing, meaning, if we've got buses going all the way down to Spotsy, Stafford, Prince William, Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, to have them all chip into it, then that way we can get the services and the destination stops that we need, which will help alleviate traffic.
Are you fearful? Are you fearful of working with Metro because of what Tyson's Corner has become, literally a cesspool of delay before construction is ever completed? They've been working on Tyson's Corner since Methuselah died, I believe. So I want to ask you, is that one of the quandaries that you have, that Governor Northam and the left have gotten too much in a concerted effort to work with Metro and to spend with Metro, and Metro has its own weaknesses that it can't seem to overcome since being built in 1976?
Yeah, I mean, Metro's a mess. I mean, it really is. I mean, I lived in Japan, and the trains and the metros that they have there are just amazing, absolutely amazing. They are always running on time. Um, I mean, even when I was up in Tokyo, I could figure out the bus yard, the routes very easily. I mean, it was okay. I know I need to get off the stop, switch over, from the red line to the orange line, and I was right at my destination exactly when I knew I was going to be there. Now with the metro, it's kind of like, okay, I thought we were supposed to leave 10 minutes ago, and we're still sitting here. So, I mean, and a
I'm
lot of it
sorry.
is, yeah. Well, a lot of it is when you've got, like I had stated before, the core capacity issue. So if you've got a train, picking up people in, Western Fairfax, by the time it goes to all of its stops and picks people up, because there's not enough trains moving, I guess you could say, to pick people up and get them to their destination. By the time you get there, it's like being in a sardine can, if you can even get onto it.
And I just want
So,
to I just want to give the American people an idea. Now, Metro 2 years ago hired a new CEO to run Metro, and they shut down Metro virtually for a year
mhm.
to get it in a stately condition. And after that, we've had at least two or three train derailments after we've put so much money out of Maryland, out of DC, out of Virginia into Metro Rail. Do you really want Metro Rail going to Fredericksburg? It's a question that many people in Richmond wouldn't have a problem funding.
Yeah, well, so here's one thing that I'm excited about. I actually spoke with Congressman Whitman, and Congressman Whitman and Congressman Breyer, sorry. And this is a perfect example of bipartisan legislation, did the Long Bridge Act. So basically, what the Long Bridge Act is going to do is going to build another line solely for passenger use. So they won't have to be sharing, because the Long Bridge is basically the one point that goes over the Potomac.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where all of the congestion is because, you've got CSX with, the freight trains and
Yes.
Amtrak, all
Mm-hmm.
of that. So with the Long Bridge Act, I think it was just recently passed. I was reading my update from Congressman Whitman about it, but it will establish a line solely for passenger use. So that means the VRE will actually have trains running back and forth all day, because right now they've got it set up where you start down, at the southernmost point down in Fredericksburg, and all of the trains go north until 1 o'clock, and then they start going south. And so what happens is, if you get onto the VRE and you have to go north, and this happened to my husband many a times. He had to go up to DC for a 9 o'clock appointment that lasted maybe an hour. Then he has to sit there until 1 o'clock until the trains start going south. So this
Exactly.
is actually exciting news, that this was, finally passed, and so there are alternatives that people are looking into, and it's all about actually trying to work together with the other side, because when you really think about, what are the most pressing needs that, we have, it's transportation, it's, schools, it is law enforcement. So many of these issues that have become so polarized and so divisive, if you strip all that away, we can actually accomplish so much together.
Exactly.
And we can fight about other things, outside. But when you start bundling it all in together, these, talking about, like implicit bias training and all of that stuff, and you try to cram it all in with something to do with, transportation or whatever, nothing's going to get done.
Exactly. I want to ask you, because the questions are coming in about I-95, and the next question is going to be about the toll lanes, okay, of I-95, which are virtually the treasury for the Commonwealth of Virginia. I mean, y'all pull in dollars off of that
Oh
toll
yeah.
road. And
Oh yeah.
there are people who are asking, number one, even with the toll rolls that we spent a lot of money building, and we're
Hmm.
supposed to provide a swifter source of transportation for the Commonwealth, I-95 is still backed up, and even the toll roads are backed up. What's up with this?
Okay, so obviously, I live in Stafford, and anytime you go south, uh, they just finished the extension, I think it was last year, where when you went south, you had to get off at the 610 exit.
Mm-hmm.
And that just backed everything up going south, going down towards 17 in South Stafford, going down into Fredericksburg. So I was actually ecstatic when they actually extended it to where the exit for the HOV, or the hot lanes, um, went past south of 610, because I got off on 610, so I didn't have to, merge with traffic and then try to get over, uh, you know, 3 lanes to try to, hit my exit, which, it was just chaos.
Yes.
And so now they're extending them even further to where they're going down to 17 and over the Rappahannock. I Those are like major trouble spots, but I mean, it seems that more we widen things, the more that we extend things,
Yes.
which the more crazy it gets. And that's why, working on, with the VRE and working with OmniRide, or trying to come up with a more comprehensive um, alternative is imperative. Because, I mean, no matter how much we add lanes, it seems like we're still adding traffic. Um,
Exactly.
in a perfect world, I would have loved like a bypass all the way around, starting south of Fredericksburg and ending up, north of DC would be great, because then we wouldn't be stuck with the traffic of, um, you know, the families coming from New York driving down to Florida, and
Exactly.
that's what we're stuck with. Um, but because they have, built things up so much without really planning infrastructure, it's now next to impossible trying to find out, well, where are we even going to put a road? Because if we try to put a road, because I know that happened up in Prince William, they're trying to do that bypass, and that means it's going to go through somebody's neighborhood.
Yes. Now,
So
Bonnie is telling me that the HOV lanes are supposed to go all the way to Richmond. And I suppose that might be a very good thing. But you mentioned the fact that economic development has taken hold of that particular region of
mhm.
of the Commonwealth. Fairfax County is the wealthiest. Prince William is second, and Stafford County is on the eyes of everybody because of Quantico, and the FBI wanted to go to that particular county. And if there's a second term of Donald Trump, that's a possibility.
Uh-huh.
Infrastructure has to take place. What will you demand of the Commonwealth, and what will you demand of the federal government in terms of infrastructure for Prince William and Stafford County?
Well, especially on the federal level, having to work with with Congressman Whitman and all of the representatives, our senators. In a perfect world, what I would do is I would get them in a car and I would have them drive and sit in traffic
Mhm.
and say, okay, you want to add all of this stuff. That means you're going to be adding like 20,000 more cars to this, traveling through this area. What are you going to do to help us, alleviate that congestion? Because I'm sure if, does Bonnie live in Stafford
And she lives in Prince William County,
and Prince William? Okay.
near Corey
So,
Stewart.
okay. So I know, in Prince William and obviously in Stafford during the summer, especially on Saturday and Sundays, you plan your life around avoiding US 1 and 95. You
Heck yeah.
discover every single back road I've driven 45 minutes out of my way through Fauquier County to get somewhere in Prince William to avoid those roads.
Hmm.
And I think for what I'd like to see, obviously improvements to 95 and Route 1, but also let's look at all of the secondary roads that maybe we can start connecting so that
Hmm.
the people that actually, live in the areas can take these roads, that you don't have the travelers from New York, cutting through, to where you can go to the mall or you can go to the grocery store and you're not sitting in traffic for hours. I mean, when I first moved to Virginia back in 2014, we drove my daughter up to Arlington because she was just starting out at Marymount.
Yeah.
And, we had come from Okinawa. I mean, there was traffic there, but I mean, obviously nothing, on this scale. And we drove up there and we were like, oh, this isn't that bad, but it was like 8:30 in the morning. By the time we got her moved into her room, to her dorm, and got back on the road to drive back to Stafford, our, hour and 15-minute trip, it took us 4 hours to get home.
Yes. Yes.
And it amazes me when you've got people in Richmond making decisions who have never been up here, who have
Exactly.
never driven these roads. And I would be the first person to say, hey, get in the car. Come on, let's go. We're going on a road trip.
I would love to see you do that, Heather. I really would. Just have a road trip for all of your House of Delegate members, and see exactly what it's like driving from Manassas to Washington, D.C. It is I think George Washington had an easier travel through Virginia.
Probably
Uh,
got there quicker.
exactly. And there are a ton of questions coming in, but transportation seemed to be the big question tonight. And I don't want to waste the other questions. Here's the other question that's deep on the minds of a lot of Americans: is Governor Northam going to lock down Virginia? Because Mayor Muriel Bowser has locked down D.C. There are rumors that Governor Hogan may go back on his promise not to lock down Maryland. Is Governor Northam going to lock down Virginia? And are you ready to deal with the corollary effects of a lockdown? Veterans killing themselves, teens killing
Mhm.
themselves, unemployment, loss of revenue in terms of taxes. What say you?
If you go by the trends of the Democrat governors seem to be following suit with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be surprised if he does it.
Mm.
I mean, I honestly won't be. I mean, we just, are just started with the latest round of restrictions on, on the gatherings, and it just it is having no plan in place.
Yes.
And it's just, they're not. I love that they're always talking about listen to the science, listen to the science. Well, I really wish they would listen to the science because
Exactly.
when you're shutting down restaurants of okay, well now you can't even do outdoor eating or you can only have X amount of people on the inside. There's so many things that are so confusing. You go to one place and it seems like, you know, you're not allowed to do anything, and then you go to another establishment and they're like, oh, well, this is okay. There's nothing that is consistent, and it is just such a lack of communication, especially coming from Richmond, going you know, to the localities. You know, I read an article today that says, oh, you know, the vaccine is on its way, you know, should be delivered to Virginia. Okay, fabulous. I can't wait, you know, sign me up to get the vaccination.
Yes.
But exactly what is the timeline? You know, where is it going to be distributed? You know, who is going to be getting it first? I mean, none of that has been released. And I mean, I've talked to a couple of my supervisors here. They have no idea.
Wow.
And in that, especially in one of my conversations, and I don't know if I said it last week, but it still just blows my mind. So as a delegate, like Stafford County has their delegation. So there would be 3 delegates that cover Stafford. One of the delegates has, just a very small section, which is Delegate Mark Cole, and he is absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
But the other 2 delegates that cover Stafford and all of the delegates that cover Prince William, they're all Democrats. Now, generally before session starts, each of the counties meet with their delegation. And what the counties do is they lay out, these are the priorities for the county. You know, talking about, you know, it could be COVID relief. It could be talking about, you know, transportation issues. Any of the bills that, you know, hey, this bill, if passed, would be very, very harmful for our community. Yes. And your job is to go down to Richmond, and you're basically lobbying on behalf of your counties. And from what I was told, this past one in Stafford, when the delegation arrived, the delegates, with the exception of Delegate Cole, Mark Cole, because we have 2 Coles, we have a Josh and a Mark, basically told the supervisors, this is what we're going to do when we go down to Richmond. Not what is it do you need us to do for you. And that blew my mind. Also, you know, my supervisor has never talked to now former Delegate Foy. Sheriff Decatur was speaking on a bill during the general session back in January. He reached out to her office 3 times and never received a phone call back. And so my biggest concern is with my opponent, she is a carbon copy. And so Prince William and Stafford are going to get the same. They're just going to be ignored. They're going to be left on their own with no representation.
I'm amazed. I'm literally amazed. And forgive me for prolonging this, but the questions keep rolling in, and I'm trying to be obedient. And I know that you have time constraints as well. But I'm just amazed. Prince William County is the 2nd wealthiest county. Stafford County is the potential dynamo for economic development for the southern part of Northern Virginia. And in fact, businesses want to go to Stafford County. And so in this particular question, in terms of the lockdown, should first responders, and this is from Bonnie Williams again, should first responders get the vaccine before anyone else in the Commonwealth? Your thoughts?
Yes, they should. Because they are the one that is out there every single day. You've got your police officers out there. You've got your paramedics. You've got your nurses and doctors. And I would even say teachers, too, need to be the first ones to get it. So that way we can get our kids back into school.
Exactly.
And
you led me to another question, because it's a question. California is reporting today that over 75% of their kids are getting D's and F's. in terms of online distance learning and education. They are a year behind in English, a year behind in math, a year behind in technology. And I'm beginning to believe that this is a national security threat, having teachers out of the classroom. Do you believe I'm an extremist for saying that?
No, oh gosh, no. There was a great article that I read on the Potomac Local, and the headline of it said, and I'll read it: with tens of thousands of children out of a classroom, Prince William County School Board is focused instead on racism training. What happened on December 8th? There was a joint school board and the board of county supervisor was meeting with they were meeting with the school board, and there was a report that had just came out from the Virginia Department of Education, and it identified that the reading gap had widened significantly on K through 3. And some of the worst performing schools in Prince William are in the Woodbridge district, which is in the northern part of the Second House district. So the members of the board went to this meeting expecting to talk about this report, other issues with the school, and the what was it? It was the oh goodness, the school's representative from the Woodbridge district started to provide a lecture to elected officials on implicit bias.
Wow.
They didn't even discuss the test scores or what's going on with our kids falling farther and farther behind.
Exactly.
And the three Republican supervisors got up and left.
People are very excited about you running for office. I'm getting questions even on my cell phone tonight. I wish you all would just go into the chat roll and give your questions. But here's a question from the cell phone tonight. Going back to the lockdown, do you believe that businesses that were deemed non-essential businesses should be required to file taxes in 2021 for 2020 tax year?
No. Why should they?
Ah, amen.
I mean, they are not generating any revenue. That would blow my mind. Seriously.
Should they be required to pay licensing fees or business fees?
No, I mean, they're not open. So no, there's no reason why they should pay that.
Now, you are going to come up against a bluster of attack for saying that. You're one of the first conservatives to actually be in a position to win the 2nd district. Do you understand that you're talking about taking tax revenue, imaginary tax revenue, from the coffers of the Treasury?
Well, my question is where is this magical money going to appear for them to pay? Their businesses are shut down. Mm-hmm. They don't have an income. So basically, if you want to get into some really weird math, so basically what would happen is these small businesses would have to, with the new COVID relief package that came through, pray that they get money from that, which we've already paid for with our tax dollars, to go to them so that they can turn around and pay their taxes with that, which would go back into another, spending bill. I mean, they're recycling the same money. So whatever monies that any small business can get for relief, no, they shouldn't have to pay taxes.
Should they pay taxes on the relief money? Should people who have been made pandemic unemployed, pay taxes on their unemployment?
No. I mean, they can't. That's what I was saying. Where's this magical money? Mm-hmm. It's a vicious cycle of what I'm seeing, with government overreach and the fact that, oh, well, here's some money to help you out, but oh, guess what? Now you got to pay us in taxes. It makes no sense. It really makes no sense.
Exactly. Here's my question. My question. Can I ask a question, y'all? Here's my question, Heather. And it'll be the last question for the evening. I thank you and wish you a very Merry Christmas to you and your family and to your constituency. But my final question to you is, do you believe that Governor Northam is acting constitutionally in the Commonwealth when it comes to the response to COVID-19? Should the Assembly assemble, as the Avengers would, in the first quarter of next year and take his emergency powers away from him?
Yes. I think Governor Northam has just gone well beyond what the Constitution enables him to do. We are seeing our Second Amendment rights stripped away, our First Amendment rights stripped away. I mean, look what they did during, special session. I mean, how long was it till they actually even started to look at the budget? And this is after they have already put everything through. Mm-hmm. So yes, I believe that, his authority to enact any type of emergency legislation or bills or whatever you want to call it should be taken away.
I call it an edict, as a king would. Heather Mitchell, Virginia House of Delegates candidate, District 2. Heather Mitchell for Virginia at Mitchell for Virginia. I love the fact that you came on right before Christmas. You have an election coming up on the 5th or 6th of January. Which one is it?
It's January 5th. And if you go to my website, it's mitchellforva.com, and it's mitchellforva.com. We have all of the dates and locations for voting on Election Day. I would love to see everybody come to the polls, and you would go to your normal voting location.
No voting booth on the corner where they're going to ballot harvest.
They are still. Oh man, I wish we had 10 more minutes because it's been very interesting.
Would you go ahead? Can we take 4 more minutes with you? Can we take 4 more minutes with you and you explain what's happening?
I can explain real quick.
Okay, great.
So I've been in constant contact with the registrar's office in Stafford. They are very open. They're very informative. Whenever we call with questions, they're the first ones to ask. Prince William County, totally different situation. I've read on the Prince William County Democrat Committee Facebook page, they were talking about, well, we think, because we weren't sure where early voting, when it was going to start or where it was even going to be held. And they had made a comment about, well, we think Veterans Park will be the probable location for, it's only going to be drive-by voting or curbside voting. We'll confirm on Tuesday. Well, when we tried to call the registrar's office, we were told that they didn't know anything and to check their website. You go to their website, and all it says about the special election is the edict from Governor Northam calling a special election. So we have no idea what's going on, with Prince William, and that's even, with us calling today.
Would you, and this is why a lot of Americans need to make certain that they fund your campaign. I believe that people have a certain limit around the country that they can send funding for. What is the limit in the Commonwealth?
Actually, for my race, you can send any amount. There is no limit. Any amount. Companies can donate. If you have like an LLC or, a lot of the smaller businesses will donate. Through them. Personal donations. It can come from anywhere in the continental United States.
Do you believe that there is a need in the GOP to contest potential election results out of this particular race. Just saying, just saying. Should you all be prepared for that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not, I mean, I have never been a conspiracy theory person, or I've always been a optimistic person. I have always given people, multiple chances. But as I've gotten older and as I've, I guess you could say, learned more about politics, I've become a lot more cynical, and not as trusting. So I am not as trusting, knowing that I'm not receiving any information, I guess you could say, on our side. But it seems that the Democrat Party is getting a lot more information before it's being made available, even to the general public.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's very upsetting to me because I believe in fair and open elections. And that's why I'm asking everybody, go on election day. Right now, I know a lot of people are concerned, with COVID, but I know that there's a lot of steps taken to make sure it's extremely safe. And I mean, when you look at it too, it's not going to be like you're standing in line with a lot of people. I mean, it's a special election. Not a lot of people know about it, and it's all about making sure that we get our base to turn out.
Exactly.
So I'm looking at it critically. We are going to have people at all of the polls on election day. We'll have people in the registrar offices, election officials watching, making sure everything is done the way that it's supposed to be done.
Is the GOP of the Commonwealth of Virginia going to guard the chain of custody for all of the ballots in the second district race?
I know I've spoken to both chairmen of the Republican committees in Prince William and in Stafford. I know that they are going to be extremely vigilant in watching it. I've been talking, to the GOP, the statewide party, about my concerns, and we're going to have people there. I mean, we're going to watch because I want to make sure that every vote counts. And I want to make sure that the people are able to choose who they want, not who the powers that be think should be there.
Are you open to legal assistance from outside of the Commonwealth to help you guard that chain of custody? It's just that your race is so big and very important. That's why I'm
Yeah,
asking this question.
that is something that we will be looking into.
Excellent. Listen, we are so thankful for you coming on. I'm going to try to squeeze you back in one more time because your race is just that important to America. If you can win the second district, it gives great hope for the rest of the country. Heather, how can people support your campaign and donate to you during this season?
Just go to my website. It's mitchell4va.com. It's mitchell4forva.com. And right at the top, there's a donate button. Just click. Any amount helps. I mean, $5, $10, it adds up. And, we've got a great staff ready to, get that vote out. And I shouldn't really say staff because 99% of them, they're all volunteers. I've got people phone bank. Actually, tonight I have the Virginia Beach Young Republicans have been help me out phone banking tonight. I've got groups in Loudoun County, Fairfax County, just doing anything and everything they can to get the message out that we can take this seat back. And can be the warning shot across the bow for all Republicans that we can win the House back in 2021.
Bingo. That's what we're talking about. Heather Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen, this is the race. It's bigger than Georgia. I know that people say that I'm getting carried away in saying that, but I'm not. This is the race for the future of America. You can choose a Marxist like Candy King, or you can choose a conservative like Heather Mitchell. And I'll take the conservative any single day. Heather, we love you. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you and yours.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, huge race. You have got to keep watching. I'll be watching that race. I think it's more important than the Georgia races. I really believe the Georgia races are over at this point, and we already know the Republicans are going to win on election day, and on the next day, the Democrats are going to win because they're going to come out with a suitcase full of new ballots. They have no creases in them whatsoever. You know, it's amazing how they come up with that kind of stuff. But, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we do at this particular hour of night. I always ask you two basic questions. Number one, do you know where your children are? Number two, do your children know where you are?
Hi, I'm Anthony Imparato, President.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I'm Paul Stanley of KISS. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I'm Councilman Eric Joya. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Help make a safer, stronger DC. Whether it's a missing person, an unsolved homicide, or keeping citizens safe, there are a number of cases that are still unsolved. Please take a moment to listen to this one.
On Wednesday, May 27, 2015, at approximately 9:40 p.m., 27-year-old D.C. resident Fuerniss Milton was shot and killed in the 2700 block of Good Hope Road Southeast. The victim, a journalist for Capital Community News, was changing buses on her way home from covering a meeting. Police believe someone on a dirt bike fired at Ms. Milton, but that she was not the intended target. The Metropolitan Police Department currently offers a reward of up to $25,000 to anyone that provides information which leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons wanted for any homicide in the District of Columbia.
If you have information about this case, contact the Metropolitan Police Department, 202-727-9099, and an anonymous text number, 50411.
The recent breakthrough in the Tammy Tracy case has Rockford police once again asking people to help solve another murder. In 2011, Natasha Cleary and her sons were shot to death in their home on Canterbury Lane. The house was then set on fire. A day later, investigators discovered a blurry image of a masked man trying to withdraw money from an ATM with Cleary's debit card.
When two of the victims are children, the most innocent among, the most innocent members of our community, it's a particularly big tragedy. And the fact that people in our community would be willing to sit silent with information that could help bring the killer or killers to justice just adds to the tragedy.
If you have any information about that crime, call Rockford Police or leave an anonymous Crime Stoppers tip.
I started the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network in 2008, and we put this together for us. The concept was that if one of us armed citizens are involved in a self-defense incident, then we have a network of individuals behind that person in order to help them get through the legal fight, if necessary, after the incident.
Deal with the aftermath of a deadly force encounter where they have survived the initial fight to save their lives and are now working very hard to be able to save their futures as well.
What really has impressed me is the boots on the ground side of it. Having had some small part in some of the cases where ACLDN has come in and helped people who are in trouble, I've seen Marty Hayes' vision for this organization fulfilled.
Last year, one of my students had called upon the ACLDN services after he was forced into a fatal defensive shooting. He was guided through the process. His rights were protected by a network-provided attorney and got through the entire legal process without any real difficulties. Now it's behind him. He's able to move on with his life.
And owner of Henry Repeating Arms. Today we are going to talk about the Henry Mini Bolt Youth Rifle, the official youth rifle of the USA shooting team. Henry Repeating Arms is proud to support all of the nation's youth shooting sports programs, including the Youth Shooting Sports Alliance, the NRA youth programs, the International Hunters Education Association, the Boy Scouts of America, as well as many others. The Henry Mini Bolt is the top-of-the-line youth rifle. Made of stainless steel, it features a stainless steel receiver, barrel, and bolt handle. It's lightweight, only 3¼ pounds, and features Williams fire sights for easy sight alignment. The Henry Mini Bolt is built to withstand the toughest test on earth, your kid. Available in synthetic black stock or Muddy Girl camo pattern. If you are going to spend your hard-earned money on a Henry, you can expect to receive quality, reliability, award-winning customer service, and my personal lifetime guarantee. And most importantly, Henry Repeating Arms, made in America or not made at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to show you this face right here. This is the face of someone that betrays a contract. I made a contract with this character, Jacob, to appear on tonight's program with me while I was talking with Charlie Fuerniss. And all of a sudden, he ran out of the room as we were about to get started. So apparently, he has broken the contract, and I'm not giving you lobster, buddy. I'm not going to give you lobster. So there, I showed you. That's Jacob, my cat. And I really, before we even get started with this interview with Charlie Fuerniss, I just my heart just bleeds Thanksgiving for the work that Charlie and Elaine do at Bourbon County Rescue, and for them giving me the opportunity to fall in love with a cat that betrayed a contract, okay? But I love my cat dearly. Live from Paris, Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to some and present to others the couple that are keeping America's pets alive. Charlie Fuerniss with us tonight. Charlie, it's a tremendous honor and pleasure to have you with us here, sir.
It's my pleasure, Ken.
Charlie, thank you, and Elaine, for giving us Jacob, formerly known as Dodge. I want to know, because I had picked a different cat. How did you all know how to match me with this perfectly matched cat who broke his contract with me tonight?
Well, quite honestly, and that's truly Elaine's expertise. She is the cat person in the family, and I am the dog person in the family.
So, how long have you all been doing this at Bourbon County?
Well, in Bourbon County, we've been for about 28, 29, or 27, 28 years.
Wow. Wow. How many animals have you all saved over that span of time, do you believe?
Well, that's hard to assess. During the year we were, one was president of our local humane society. I don't really know what the numbers were that we had there, but to give you some idea, our biggest year this year we saved all 750 cats and dogs, rabbits, etc. through adoption.
Wow, it's over 750. Gotta ask you here, is it because of the pandemic that people are thinking of nature's pets as a refuge, per se?
Yeah, I believe they are. They're realizing when they're home long.
Okay, we're having just a few slight technical difficulties here. But what Charlie and Elaine do nearly 30 years out of Bourbon County is just simply amazing. And the number of cats and dogs that they save, they even save rabbits. It's just a miraculous thing. And I must tell you all that when I met with Bourbon County up in Maryland, they had picked out the most beautiful cat for me, and Elaine selected the cat, and we took him and we put him in the car, and I wanted to put the cat next to Mrs. Biggs so that she would get used to the cat. And we're working on getting him back, Mary. We are working on getting him back. One of the things that we did was put him in the bag. We opened the bag just to basically, touch his fur, get to know him. He jumped out of the bag. He looked up at her. He walked around on the back seat for just a little bit, and then the next thing you know, he split and went underneath the car seat. And so there we are up in Frederick, Maryland, trying to push the seat forward and then push it back. And every time we moved the seat, he moved with the seat. It was like, I'm not getting out from here. And then finally, I grabbed the cat by the tuft and I put him in my arms. And at that point, it seemed that Jacob said, you know what? This is my master. It is a tremendous thing to adopt a pet. Now, I have been chastised by my very good friend Dave Milner not to encourage people to go adopting cats and dogs simply for the fact of adopting cats and dogs. You know, give somebody something to play with for a day and then they get tired of it and then you have a real problem. But the rescue work that they do and matching the cat, see, they don't just give you a cat. It's just one of the most amazing things. They literally match the cat to you, which I truly adore, because I'm not the person. And so let me just encourage them to please re-enter. Put this in there. Yeah, see, this is live. Everything's live. That's why I love live over everything else. Because they were going to show off a number of cats and dogs this evening that are available for adoption. And this won't be the last time we get them to come to TECN TV. You might know when you take a look on the front page of TECN TV, you see the beautiful Jacob, who this weekend had his hair done. Had his hair done and his nails done and looks so glorious and so Hollywoodish. And it's a different thing when you take a look at the cat before the grooming, where they're meowing and screaming about being in a cage. It's a soft bag that he's carried in. Trust me on that. A soft bag with pillow inside. But whining and complaining that I have been chained. And then gets out of the bag and then just walks in. You know, hey, time for my hair. Okay, thank you. You just really love the animal that you adopt. But adoption isn't for everybody. And every cat and every dog isn't for you. And so there are a series of questions, there are a series of investigations that must take place. I felt like I was having an FBI check, you know, in terms of adopting. I was offended, to be honest with you. I was like, I want to adopt a cat. All I want to do is adopt a cat. Bougie cat Jacob. I'm like, hey, I want to adopt a cat. He looks like Garfield Ken. No wonder he isn't getting lobster. You know, he betrayed me tonight. I'm not going to give him lobster. But I want to encourage everybody tonight, even if you're not adopting a cat, just to send an email to Charlie and Elaine Fuerniss of Bourbon County Rescue. Nearly 30 years in terms of doing this work, literally, and they're out of Paris, Kentucky. And I want you to understand something. They don't have an oil well in the back of their home. They don't. They don't have a uranium mine on the side. They don't have a gold mine in the front, and they don't have the U.S. Treasury in the attic. They don't have that. So those same cats and dogs that need to be adopted are in a way station, if I can put it this way. And it's very important that you support them, because those animals still need their rabies shots. They still need to be checked by a veterinarian. They need food. They need other supplies. They have staff, volunteer staff Yeah, we talk about people that drive all the way from Paris, Kentucky to Frederick, Maryland on a weekend so that people can adopt a pet in the Petco parking lot. Well, not in the park. Well, easier, in the early fall, much easier. But in the later part of the year, they're inside of the Petco in Frederick, Maryland, and you see a large array of cats and dogs, and there we go. I believe that we have Charlie back. Charlie Fuerniss.
I am back, Ken.
It's great to have you back. Charlie, now I've been going over the fact that there are a lot of people that this time of the year and because of pandemic need somebody at home. They just need a little friend. And I want to ask you here, Charlie, is adopting for everybody? Should everybody just run out today and adopt a cat or dog?
No. I can tell you that honestly.
What are some of the things that you're looking for in terms of adoption, matching the dog and cat to the person?
Well, as you know, you've already filled the application. We're looking for, in the case where people already have pets, we're looking for a veterinarian reference. We're looking for references, personal references from people who know them, things like that. And that comes, we have to weigh heavily on that because we're meeting these people for the first time. We like to get just a general idea of how we'll live in the and what kind of situation they have. In the case of a dog, fenced yard. If it's not a fenced yard, the cat, those are adopted as strictly indoor pets. So we do get applications from people who say, well, I always take my cat out for a walk or backyard when I'm out there and that sort of thing, and we kind of frown on that, but that's if we can find the right situation, we definitely will put in in the case of being dogs, border collies, Australian shepherds, German shepherds, things like that. We really put a heavy emphasis on people who have experience with those particular breeds.
Yeah. Now, there are those who, have a great love for big things, but they live in a small apartment. Should you adopt a Alaskan Husky if you live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment? Oh, we just lost him. I'm telling you, I am so thankful for Charlie and Elaine and for the work that they do.
Probably, I do know, and they do. For the most part, it's not.
Yes, Charlie.
I'm still. Okay.
Yep, we got you.
Yep.
So, should an Alaskan Husky be inside a 1-bedroom apartment building?
Okay. Good. Probably not. There's much better breeds for that type of situation. All a very compact, maybe a smaller animal. Like there's a lot of the smaller breed dogs, that would work out tremendously well in there. But some people do like large dogs, and but Great Danes actually make great apartments.
Really?
And part of the reason is they're so easygoing and laid back. Yeah. They very well. Absolute bonkers that kind of a situation.
For those of us who are watching tonight who want to adopt a cat or a dog, how long does it take to do the adoption process?
It is actually long. We have two, Elaine and Jackie Baker, a wonderful volunteer. And it amazes me how quickly and applications. Of course, really good applications where the references respond quickly and they have a tremendous vet reference, quality vet care through the life of their pet, that sort of thing. And we, those can be processed in a very short time. And actually, it was, why that would be so soon? I'm really not ready. But and then there are others that where the information isn't there, and it just takes days and days and days to drag it out of people and stuff like that. So it all depends on the quality of the individual and how they've taken it to the past.
Charlie, got to ask you here. You and Elaine take on the responsibility of caring for these animals. How much does that cost annually to you? And do you have donors and supporters? How does that work?
Well, fortunately for us, we have acres here in Indy that we have a small farm here that we can house the greatest share of the foster, the animals in our rescue. We have a building set up as a cat sanctuary. We have cage banks and towers that they can play in and stuff like that. And then we have play yards for the dog. Some of the dogs are allowed to breathe, the ones we can trust, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And the annual expenses vary greatly with depending on the animal. Shelters call us and say, we need your help right away. We got an animal that got hit by a car or something like that. So immediately we're going there to pick it up, take it out to the veterinarians that we use to evaluate its situation and hopefully come up with a good. We've had puppies with parvo that they call us and say this litter's really sick. They really help, and usually first phone call they make.
Exactly. Now, is it a fair thing to say that you all are open to receiving donations of food or monies to help support your pursuit of saving those individuals, rescuing the pets?
Absolutely, it is. We take food donations. We take cash donations or money donations. And honestly, our best supporters are our past adopters. Actually, this time of year, it's just overwhelming how grateful people are when they found the perfect match and stuff like that, and they're generous. To give you an example, we had a gentleman. He and his wife have had dogs pretty much all their life, and they were down to 2, and they normally have like 6. So he's adopted a couple of dogs from us. And when he came to adopt the dog, he paid the adoption fee through the whole process. I helped him put the dog in his van for him and stuff like that. And an older couple, and they were just the nicest people in the world. And I found out later that along with adoption, everything else, given $1,000 for a dog on the day that he rescued. So he's been a friend ever since. So, like I say, we're just terribly, wonderfully blessed. Adopters really feel the connection and continue to support us. And the other thing, we don't write for grants or government money in any way, shape, or form. We said on that we were going to do this ourselves, and whatever help, outside parties wanted to donate, but we wanted to use the public money to to happen.
Now, if I'm watching this today or Christmas Eve, can I just pick up the phone or send you an email at the email addresses that you have here, bourbonpetrescue@gmail.com or rescuebc@hotmail.com, and just get a cat or a dog in time to give my kid for Christmas? Can I do that?
Well, that's probably not going to happen because only a day and a half, 2 days from Christmas, and that's truly one of the things that we have made it a policy not to do, especially puppies, make them Christmas because of the return rate after Christmas on those. But we do adoptions, and in that shorter period of time, we wouldn't probably be able to process an application unless it was absolutely fantastic.
What should a family think about if they're going to adopt a cat or a dog after Christmas?
First of all, they need to consider their time commitment. How much time and effort can they put into the adoption process? Being a new family member into your home, just like when you bring a baby home from the hospital, mom's going to take some time off of work, or dad's going to take some time off of work, and we feel that that's almost necessary when bringing home a cat or a dog, to let them spend that time in. Sometimes where people make the mistake is the first thing they want to do is get it out and visit everybody and everything. And truly, the right thing to do is to allow them just to get them to their new home, to bring them in, let them settle in, and basically black out a couple of weeks just for them to really feel comfortable in their new home.
Mm-hmm. Now, in closing here, there are those who have seen me over the past few months talk about Jacob, and who is formerly named Dodge, and he has become the exceptional conservative cat for our network. And what is the hope that you have for people when they adopt their cat? Do you want them to just gush over them and fall in love with them like I did, or should there be some little reserve in terms of that? We're talking with Charlie Fuerniss, ladies and gentlemen. There is some delay in terms of
probably probably a little bit somewhere in between. It's probably the preferred method of bringing a pet into the new home. Obviously, you want it to feel welcome, so love and attention is very important. But allowing them to have their space is important, and letting them to settle in, and they'll really tell you if you body language and things like that, you really can pick up on exactly what to express and how they feel and if they're comfortable and that sort of thing. And really good trainers are able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, should you plan to train your pet, or should you just train the pet on your own?
Well, that's actually part of our contract requirement, is that you'll finish at least a 6-week course of obedience training.
Yep.
In the case of the cats, you've all seen the commercial cats and stuff. That is an easy training. It's not an easy thing to do. But Bourbon for dogs is absolutely a training course, and we waive that because just because they are independent, it's very difficult. But when you find the right cat or dog, it's amazing how quickly that bond develops and how well your life, how much better your life would be with a animal.
I want to ask you, do you have any cats or dogs that you are placing for adoption that you would like the world to see on screen?
Come here, buddy. Come here. I've got a guy right here. Um, his name is BB, and he came to us from from Southern Kentucky, from a rescue down there, and he almost immediately he got a bit under the weather, so he's recovering now. But he's well on the road to recovery, and he's doing fantastic, and will probably be at our next event. We've already gotten applications and things on him.
When is your next event?
I believe it's going to be on the 2nd of January in Frederick.
Mm-hmm. The 2nd of January in Frederick.
To give you some idea, I got to figure out how to do this with the camera and stuff, but you can see he's got the spots like a Bengal has on his face. Yeah. He's probably Maine Coon and Bengal mix. So we're going to be a pretty good size weight, much like Dodge, or in your case, Jacob.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Because Jacob is about 3 feet tall now and moving towards about 10 to 15 pounds. It's a big cat with an attitude problem because he betrayed me tonight. Is there a dog available to be seen tonight?
Well, I don't have him with me, but we have a small Chihuahua here in the house with us that he's a special needs guy. He's got some, well, he's a little overweight for one, but he's got some physical impairments as far as walks and things like that. He doesn't do well on tile and things like that. He's really good on carpet or out on the grass or on concrete, but doesn't do particularly well out on tile or linoleum or that. But just this guy in the world, wonderful temperament, sweet as can be. Not what you would call an ankle biter by any extreme, but sweet baby.
I got to ask you here because there's some people who have animals. Should you just adopt another animal? How does that work? Are there some animals that are just like Jacob, who wants to be alone and pampered, or are there other animals that are able to be with other animals per se? I know I'm just joking. The Maine Coon cat is very reasonable. It will play with other cats. It will.
Oh, they are. They're very good, and they make very good buddies and stuff like that with other cats. They're very cautious in how they approach. They're very laid back. Let the relationship build, and that sort of thing. And we have had people that will adopt and say, "Well, I have to have my cat, or the new man," and then the dog actually picks up the anxiety of the owner and feels like, oh, I'll be stressed because I'm meeting a dog. Would actually be better almost for them to meet without the owners present, because the owners kind of sort of an anxiety to their
now, Charlie, and give my kisses and hugs to Elaine for matching Jacob with us. But I want you all, you all to come back on a monthly basis to TECN TV, so that we can get as many of these particular cats and dogs adopted as possible. I have truly enjoyed talking with you tonight. And once again, if people want to donate to you, do they just send money to 262 Hutchinson Road, Paris, Kentucky? Or should they just send an email to you to find out how to support your cause?
Either way is fine. Yeah, and people can do it online through oh gosh, what's it called? PayPal, that sort of thing. They can find that out. They can see that on our website through Petco or through Pet Finder or Adopt a Pet.
Wow. I love you guys. Thank you so much for what you did for my family. I want you to know that Jacob has a staff that's awaiting him 24 hours out of the day. And we buy him toys to play with until he gets bored, and we'll find another toy for him. Thank you so much. We look forward to you coming back next month with more of the cats and dogs to be adopted from the Bourbon County Rescue. January 2nd is Adoption Weekend. Is that in Frederick, Maryland, sir?
Yes, sir, it is at the Petco store, yeah.
January 2nd. What time should people line up to go there, or should they contact you first before lining up?
Yeah, they did contact us because you have to have an approved adoption in order to be able to, or approved application in order to adopt. So we don't do just walk up adoption.
And I want to also thank Mary Brockman tonight. Mary Brockman, my bouncer in chief in the chat roll, because she was one of my personal vouchers for getting Jacob. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it greatly. You actually said some kind words about me. I appreciate that. Charlie, we love you. Elaine, we love you. Merry Christmas to you and to yours, and we will have you back next month to talk about the adoption process of cats and show a number of cats and dogs that are available for adoption. Do it right, people. Don't just run to the Petco and buy a cat or a dog. Adopt a rescue pet because they truly need you. God bless you. Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas to you, and thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you. Charlie Fuerniss, Elaine Fuerniss, thank you so much for matching Jacob with me. I don't know how you knew that Jacob perfectly fit me, and I want you to know, Elaine, because of you, you may have to have me at the adoption on January 2nd because Mrs. Biggs is about to throw me out for pampering the cat so much. So I'll need to be adopted somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to go to a commercial break. When we come back, more of the best in urban conservative talk. We'll close out this particular night with a conversation on the movie selections for the weekend. Yes, Bonnie Williams bossed me around, and we were able to come up with a number of great selections. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Kona coffee is like a fine wine, and today we're headed to the Royal Kona Coffee Center to see how it goes from the volcanic slopes to one of the top-ranked coffees in the world.
Kona coffee has a very bold and unique aroma and flavor profile.
that's unlike any other coffee in the world. We've got rich soil running up and down the hills throughout Kona. We also have some of the best tropical weather in the world for coffee, with just the right amount of rainfall. The Royal Kona Coffee Center has been on the island for over 50 years, roasting and milling coffee. Here we also provide tours 365 days a year. We offer about 18 varieties of coffee at any given time, as well as all of our Hawaiian Isles tea. We have some Ono snacks from local suppliers around the islands, as well as a full-service coffee shop. We also have the only lava tube on the west side of the island, and it gives a nice little view of the island from underground. In 2000, Royal Kona Coffee merged with Lion Coffee and the Hawaii Coffee Company, and we plan to be here for many years to come.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Roger.
How are you? Aloha.
Good to see you. I got my coffee. I'm ready to
Perfect.
go, but I want to know what makes this taste so good.
Well, it's really special because we have 50 years plus of dealing with the same farmers in this fantastic South Kona area.
Yeah, and you guys have such quality cherries that come in, right?
Correct, and we grade by cherry and by CBB count. So let's take a walk and I'll show you. We are now pulling samples. We're going to test this for quality, and we will pay based on that scale so we can ensure the highest quality available. Here's a good example of some ripe Kona cherry. It is just freshly picked, so we want to get this processed and in a fermentation tank as early as possible. So from here, we will take the coffee down and grade it. The pulpers will remove the skin from the coffee, and then it'll go to a fermentation tank where it'll ferment for up to 14 to 16 hours. This is our dry index. We're obviously trying to mimic the sunshine if we can. And once we're done with these, we'll unload them and take them to the dry mill. This is your typical washed Kona coffee. Now this particular one is a natural.
Oh.
We do not remove the skin. This has a very unique flavor and it's fun.
So how much coffee do you guys actually do per day?
So on any given day during the peak of season, we're looking at 60 to 80,000 pounds a day.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. After the drying process, we then bag the parchment skins up. It's going to the dry mill to be milled into the green beans. And from that point, we'll export it to Honolulu where it's roasted and we deliver it to our customers.
And that is how you get an amazing cup of Kona coffee. If you're ever on the Big Island, make sure to check out Royal Kona Coffee Center. We'll have more up on HiNowDaily.com.
Brought to you by Lion Coffee.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to be here on camera. He wants to be here on camera. Stop it. You're going to love me. You're going to love me. I love my pet, Jacob. My pet is a wonderful pet. Stop pushing away from me. It looks like I'm abusing you on camera. There you go. I love you too. There you go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob did his cameo. He actually did 2 cameos, and I apparently must pay him lobster money for doing his cameos. What's that? He is out of here. No lobster for him. Thank you, Jason. I think he's holding out for 2 lobsters. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, one of the bossiest people in the world, hopefully she's still not in the chat roll. Hopefully she isn't listening. One of the bossiest people in the world is Bonnie Williams. And when she wants something done, boy, does she try to make it get done quickly. In fact, tonight, she has made a decision on what the movie picks will be for this coming week. They're already in, and I jest with her, but I joke with her regarding that. But I really appreciate her greatly for the work she does as Vice President of Movie Operations. She is in there. Oh crap! There you go. I'm saying nice things about you. nice things about you. The movie selection, and you all know that on Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. we will be doing It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, It's a Wonderful Life will play here on Thursday at 7 p.m. And our hosts have already called in slick for the holiday or holidays. And so, no, I'm just kidding. And I'm going to tell you all, Bonnie, because I know how much you love the Nutcracker, you might want to send an email to Susan Monk. So, yeah, Susan Monk. She's the hostess of Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Talk on TECN TV. Susan Monk comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Well, she makes nutcrackers. She makes those soldiers. The Nutcracker soldiers. Do. She makes those. So I'm going to encourage everybody. You need to pick up the phone or send an email. You can go directly to TECN TV page. Scroll down. You can get her email address. While she's in the business of trying to finish the last of her orders, you should make an order to her tonight. Order your own Nutcracker. She can get it out to you as quickly as she can. You may not receive it until 2021. Because of the U.S. Postal Service dumping Trump votes all over the country. But the key thing is you put the order. I'm telling you, they are the most beautiful things to see that she creates. Little nutcrackers. You should go ahead and take care of that right away. My fines are too steep. I got a $1 fine. Violated his contract. I heard you can't. I gotta pay $1. Oh, well, thank God it's Bonnie charging me and not Mary. Mary, boy, she be going for the juggler. $1,000 fine. There you go. But I'm not talking about you, Mary. I love you, Mary. Love you. Those fines all get paid directly to Open Heart Closed Case, organization started by Mrs. Biggs and myself in remembrance of our daughter, Shanice Milton, as we help families regarding missing persons, teen suicides, child abuse cases, and unresolved homicides. And on Friday nights, we focus on public health and public safety on our show at 9 p.m. Dissing fine, Mary. No, Jason, don't join in here. Don't join in. Don't make it worse for the Kenster. Don't make it worse for me. Don't do it. Tonight, I want to go over the great picks by Bonnie Williams. Congratulations, great work. On Christmas Eve, before the great movie It's a Wonderful Life at 7 p.m. on Thursday evening, we will play Claus is Coming to Town and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Two cartoon classics will come on before the 7 p.m. showing of It's a Wonderful Life. There will not be the Exceptional Conservative Show on Christmas Day this year, but we will do a show on Christmas Eve after It's a Wonderful Life. And there we will read the first chapter of Luke. We will come back the following week and begin a tutorial on the principles that we believe in. So just wanted to let you know. So on Christmas Eve, this is how it's going to work. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer will be first. Santa Claus is Coming to Town will be second. It's a Wonderful Life will be next. And then the Exceptional Conservative Show will read the first chapter of Luke and close out for the evening. On Christmas Day, yes, on Christmas Day, we will have 3 great movies, and we'll arrange the time period. You'll see that tomorrow morning when you go to TECN TV Movies. The number 1 movie we will see is A Lot Like Christmas, Family Forgiveness Christmas. There you go. The 1973 movie, A Dream for Christmas. And finally, Babes in Toyland. No, it's not the XXX version. Not the XXX version. Babes in Toyland, which is also known as March of the Wooden Soldiers from 1934. And that would be played on Christmas Day. We will work out the times. Saturday. Ha! Dave Milner, you should not have gone on vacation. You should have stayed with me, brother, because we finally got a Western approved. After 300,000 submissions of Westerns to Bonnie Williams, we finally got one Western through. Hang 'em High. Yes, there you go. Hang 'em High on Saturday. And The Count of Monte Cristo also on Saturday. So, there you go. And then on Sunday, there will be two movies on that particular day. The Life of Jesus and Christmas Grace. The Life of Jesus and Christmas Grace. So, I hope that you will tune in and watch all of these great movies. I'm telling you, the amount of research that Bonnie does in making it happen, the great appreciation would be tuning in and watching and telling other people to watch it as well. Mary Brockman says, I can't be here Friday. Smooches gracias. I understand, Mary. Love you dearly. Merry Christmas to you and to yours. Also, Jason, don't start no trouble in there with any John Wayne movies. Listen, we got one Western, man. Take it. Take the one Western. Show appreciation. She might approve two next time. Bonnie Williams said, Ken, do not tell me that now. Oh my God, Christmas heaven. There you go. So the amount of work that Bonnie does in terms of scoping out the movies and picking the right ones is just impressive, and we really appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you, Bonnie. Merry Christmas, Jason, for all that you are here. Mrs. Biggs, we love you. Merry Christmas. Thank you for all that you do to support this network. We will be back tomorrow, and we will be doing an interview with the Honorable Lomax Sherman from Guyana, a member of the Parliament there. So that's a pretty big interview. And Onique Prasad will be joining us for that interview as well. Janice Hall will be in the last hour of our program. So we got a lot of stuff planned. And Mary Brockman, we love you. And we're praying for your rest and rehabilitation, your body getting stronger, your mind getting quicker. As you have a quick wit already, I don't know why I'm asking for you to get quicker with the mind. But you're quick on those fines, I tell you that. But I love you, Mary Brockman. Thank you for being here all of these 10 years that we've been on the air. And we're looking forward to celebrating our 10th anniversary on February 28th, 2021. So we love you dearly, Mary. Listen, if you don't remember anything else I said tonight, I hope that you do remember this. God bless America. It is now time for America to bless God. We will see you tomorrow night with more of the best in urban conservative talk. Charlie and Elaine, smooches gracias. Thank you so much for our cat who betrayed me. But he'll probably still get lobster anyway because he's pampered. I don't think he's pampered. I just think I care a lot for him. There you go. Good night. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you tomorrow night.